Hey guys, how's it going? We're back again with another week of series to discuss, and boy, I can't wait because this week was absolutely unreal. Coming up, we've got an unbeatable set of enemies in Black Clover, Jujutsu Kaisen's jaw-dropping twist, Boruto's owl comes back for blood, an emotional roller coaster in Attack on Titan, and a brand new series by Kazusa Inuaka, I Tell C. So, without further ado, let's have a look at last week in anime and manga. Now, I don't want to take too long talking about Black Clover this week, as I think I may do a whole separate video on this chapter, as I really think it deserves it. But in short, Black Clover was back to its best this week and did a fantastic job of making everyone feel completely useless. It's honestly quite elf reincarnation arc-esque, to be honest. I haven't felt this way about the Black Clover manga for quite a while, but seeing the two new high-class devils just playing with everyone, a flood of other lower devils emerging from the underworld, as well as 3 100% form devil users, makes me feel quite simply like, what are we meant to do now? Obviously, Asta holds the key component to defeating this evil, but how can he possibly save everyone? I fully expect, and to some degree hope, to be honest, that we come out of this fight with a big casualty. Who, though, I can't quite decide just yet. Obviously, Nacht got the death flags this chapter, but maybe that was just a red herring and it's going to be someone completely different. Oh boy, this week's Jujutsu Kaisen chapter was the best out there. Okay? Yeah, I said it. It was unbelievable. I honestly thought after all that has happened during Shibuya, I couldn't be caught off guard anymore. But this chapter, oh man, that final page, right, was golden. So we got that Gojo has been labelled as one of those responsible for the Shibuya incident and has been permanently exiled. Masamichi Yaga has been given a death penalty when he didn't even really do anything. And above all else, Yuji Itadori's death sentence has been revoked, meaning the postponement which Gojo had worked towards get approved at the start of the series has now been terminated, leading to the execution to carry on as normal. I don't know where we go from here, but the political drama that has spawned from here on out is just wow. It is incredible. Everyone is being wrongfully framed by the higher-ups, which is what has ultimately led to this mess. And as such, I really struggle to find a way for Itadori to get out of this mess unless Yuta is actually fooling the higher-ups by taking on the task of executioner. Maybe, just maybe, it's a double bluff and he's going to assure his safety. You never know. What I do know though is that I need the next chapter insanely quickly, like right now. But unfortunately, it's on break next chapter. Boruto is back yet again, animating the manga with a fantastic episode featuring more anime original scenes with Kara, including Code again, who's been getting a lot of love in the anime as of late, unlike in the manga. And Jigen even mentioned another mission for him to go on, which could be a tease for some more anime exclusive inclusions from him in future arcs. Or it could be a tease for a future task he takes on in the manga. If you know, you know. I also loved how they showed Code sparring with Jigen. I say sparring, he tried to attack Jigen while eating and, well, Jigen just pushed him aside with ease, and which I find very interesting. Code is clearly young, and I'd say no older than maybe teen Boruto, around 16 or so, which makes me interested in seeing just how good he actually is in combat, as this episode made it come across that he's a very inexperienced and novice shinobi to some degree, which I quite like, as it feels like there's lots of room for growth in his character, which can only ever be a good thing. But onto the actual manga original scenes, and well, listen. I imagine many people will moan about this, especially people viewing from the outside, that we now have miniguns in Boruto. But listen, okay, sometimes, just sometimes, you need a little bit of badassery in your life, and what is more badass than pulling up on a group of elite shinobi like you're a goddamn Call of Duty killstreak? Exactly. But the real moment worth talking about is obviously the death of Mugino. His death scene is the exact reason why I firmly believe that when the anime does in fact adapt the manga, the anime is far superior in every single way imaginable. This death was meaningless in the manga. I don't exaggerate at all when I say nobody cared. Literally, nobody cared about Mugino at all. The anime, though, in the past half a year or so, has done a simply fantastic job of actually building a character we, the fans, cared about despite knowing his fate. And yes, I understand that knowing he does die probably did contribute ever so slightly to that, but regardless, they did their job of actually making a character worth caring about, and when it comes to adapting a manga, you can't do much more right in this case than that. I don't know how I can bring myself to even talk about this episode. I don't think I've ever even spoken about Attack on Titan before really on this channel, but let me assure you, it is easily in my top 3 of all time and probably puts up a great fight at actually being my number 1. There's so much I can talk about in this ep that it's hard to keep it quite quick and concise, but I'll give it a go. I love this series. Anyway, right, okay, just saying that should help. So, Sasha is dead. Now, this hurt way more than I ever thought it would. Not because I don't like Sasha, I actually kind of liked her, as she quite often supplied some nice comedic moments in an otherwise pretty dark and depressing world. But it was more the fact that I got spoiled about it ages ago, unfortunately. So that sucks, but still, the scene with the music and everything, as expected, was just fantastic. And all I gotta say, right, is Gabby. Seriously, Falco, you can do so much better than her. Trust me, little man. And then when I thought I could finally start to cool down and I thought that was going to be it for the roller coaster of emotions in this episode, Zeke comes out of nowhere as some sort of co-conspirator. I really don't know what is going on here, but boy, I was shaking when he popped up on my screen. Also, it's probably worth saying right now that, if you couldn't tell already, I am an anime only when it comes to Attack on Titan. But anyway, it was golden to see Gabby's shitty little face as her heroic war chief was seemingly being held captive. And it was just, fuck. Anyway, the last thing I want to mention is Eren Yeager. What a character. From the very beginning of this new season, as soon as he was introduced, I've loved him. And just how completely broken he is. But a glimpse of his former self was shown today when Connie told him Sasha's final words. And that just fills me with so much excitement to see just what direction Eren's character goes in now. Oh boy, I can't wait for this next episode, man. Overall, so much happened in this episode that I simply just don't know who I can trust, nor who I even support. I love Reina. I love Levi. I love Eren. And now you've got Zeke, who I was meant to hate and now I may have to support? I don't even know anymore. This series is just too goddamn good, man, and I just don't even know. Now, I will try and keep this quick because I will try and cover each new manga which launches, but I don't want to spoil them either, as I imagine many of you haven't managed to read them yet. But I tell C. Honest first impressions, right? Not great. I personally don't feel the desire to read a second chapter, which can never be a good thing. Now, this may be how they initially promoted the series before its release. When a pin-up model is murdered, twin detectives are on the case. I read that and instantly thought, Death Note. Okay, I know it's my own fault for jumping to that conclusion, but that's what I was expecting. When in actuality, it's a romance manga more than anything. And I love me some romance, okay? Golden Time Gang, where you at? But it's not what I'd hoped for, unfortunately. But if you are a fan of crime and romance, then probably give it a go. I do, however, think that it has cancellation written all over it. But maybe, just maybe, I need to let some chapters stack up a bit and maybe we can revisit it at a later date and see whether or not my opinion changes. Anyway, I think that pretty much wraps up this episode of Last Week in Anime and Manga. Let me know in the comment section down below what your favourite thing that you either watched or read this week was. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai Squad and join me next week as we look back at some more anime and manga. But until then, as always, peace.